Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Kid Taj, and today we have another video about the Cavs. Yesterday's video covered Kyle Korver and the trade that the Cavs were reportedly finalizing that we now all know is happening. I don't know when Kyle Korver is going to play his first game as a Cleveland Cavalier, but it's got to be soon. I don't even know if the deal's finalized yet or if it's like finished. It's okay for him to play a game, whatever. But if it hasn't, it should be soon. Now, today we're going to be talking about the Cavs again, like I said earlier in the video. Yeah, if you enjoyed this, don't forget to leave a like, comment an idea down below, subscribe if you're new, and let's get into this. So, basically, I'm making this video because I know that this is not a move that the Cavs are making and saying, okay, now we're done, now we're ready to win this title. No. I mean, honestly, you know, it seems crazy because you look at the Cavs roster, you got your big three, and then you got some excellent role players in Tristan Thompson and J.R. Smith, hopefully a healthy J.R. Smith, but they bring in Kyle Korver, so if J.R. Smith's not healthy, then it's like, okay, here, now you can take over and you can be our J.R. Smith, because Kyle Korver is basically doing what J.R. Smith was doing, you know, a little bit of a downgrade on the defensive end, but probably an upgrade in terms of shooting the basketball. He's going to be shooting only open looks and knocking them down because that's his bread and butter, obviously. So I know, you know, that this is a big move, and I also know that Kyle Korver apparently isn't even going to start when he goes over to Cleveland. I think that after a few weeks, he will be in the starting lineup. You know, J.R. Smith's going to be out for a long time, and you're going to need a guy that can do that J.R. Smith role. DeAndre Liggins, this guy can really defend at a high level, but he's not nearly the three-point shooter that the Cavs need at a shooting guard, you know, in their starting lineup. So this is why I think Kyle Korver is going to be in there a lot. And, you know, if he's coming off the bench, I think he's still going to be playing a lot of minutes just because, you know, they need him to be in there. And again, like, they could do to him what they did to Channing Frye, except, you know, to a higher degree, because I think that he's a better shooter than Channing Frye. And Channing Frye is the second best three-point shooter in the NBA, but he wasn't. You know, by percentage, I think Channing Frye is like the second best percentage-wise, maybe something like that. He's up there, definitely, maybe like top 5 or something like that, but he wasn't doing that before he played with LeBron. Kyle Korver is going to come in there and it's going to be the same type of thing, I think, which just makes it so scary. But this video is not about that. No, it's about what LeBron said after, you know, he was told about the Kyle Korver, asked about the Kyle Korver trade, you know, what his opinion on it was. And it had been hinted for a while that the Cavaliers were trying to get a point guard, you know, notably pursuing a Mario Chalmers or Rajon Rondo. Now, when LeBron was asked about, you know, what it was like after the Kyle Korver trade, you know, how he felt about the Kyle Korver trade, he answered with, "We need a point guard." They're really building up. They are really trying to gear up so they can face these Warriors in the finals this year again and try to take it, because they know the Warriors made a huge move. The Warriors, obviously, they get Kevin Durant. That's their, you know, that's their move. They lose in the finals, they have to get better. And it's weird because it's like, do they even really have to get better? Because they were up 3-1, they won 73 games. Maybe they just, you know, do the same thing and they don't go super hard in the regular season and go for that 73 win record, and maybe they win the finals because they weren't going so hard and wasting their energy and getting guys injured like Steph Curry. Maybe they do that? No. They get Kevin Durant. This changes everything, and the Cavs know that if Kevin Durant works with this team, it's going to be a problem. So far, the Warriors are the best team in the NBA record-wise. The Cavs are like, yeah, this is working out. We need to go and get people. The Warriors have a historic offense this year, and that's a problem for the Cavs because they know, we all know that it's going to be a finals rematch, probably. I mean, honestly, who's going to beat the Cavs in the East unless LeBron gets injured? And the Western Conference, I mean, it's a little bit more competitive, I think, in the West. But do you really see the Spurs beating the Warriors in a series? They didn't even get to play the Warriors last year, and I know that the Spurs are playing really well this year as well. But, you know, it's hard to say. It will be fun to see them play because the one time they played this year, the Spurs absolutely destroyed the Warriors. But playoffs are always a different circumstance. Now, I'm thinking like this. You know, the Cavs are making moves to counter the Warriors' move. They get Kyle Korver. This is a huge move. They're countering the Warriors' Kevin Durant. And then they're going to make another move, which also counters the Kevin Durant move. You know, they both, like, combine to counter the move. But this is actually bigger than you think. Kyle Korver move. I know Kyle Korver's no star, but he helps this team in so many ways. He's the perfect LeBron shooting guard. And that's like exactly what they needed, and that's what they got. Now, we all know this team has very little depth at the point guard position. After Kyrie Irving, your backup point guard is Kay Felder. That's not going to cut it for a LeBron team. No disrespect to Kay Felder, the guy was a second-round pick this year's draft, which is terrible. This year's draft is awful. And Kay Felder, he can play. No lie, he can definitely play, but on a championship team, on a LeBron championship team, he's not consistent enough. He's too young. They're going to develop him. Jordan McRae is much more developed and experienced and probably better than Kay Felder, and he's still not getting minutes really until, everyone gets injured. Like right now, everyone just got injured, so he's starting. But the big thing, like I said, they are not deep at point guard. Kyrie got injured. Now they had to start Kay Felder, and they realized that, okay, they're going to need a backup for him. Shumpert was the backup, and that didn't really work out because he's not a point guard, and they don't have a backup shooting guard. I mean, Dunleavy was really a small... look, they just didn't have the depth, right? So they get a point guard, whether it be Mario Chalmers or Rajon Rondo. Those are the two guys LeBron wants. Think about it like this. Mario Chalmers was a starter in Miami. If he's your backup point guard, then you're pretty stable, I think. If you can have a guy come in with Kyrie, when Kyrie's off the court, Mario Chalmers just do his thing, that's fantastic for them. And if they pick up Rajon Rondo's a great player. He just doesn't fit in Chicago. If he gets them playing the way they want to play, with all those shooters around him, you put shooters around Rondo, it's almost as good as putting shooters around LeBron. That's what they can do. Those guys are made to play around shooters. I think a Rondo pickup for the Cavs might be devastating if they can play him the right way. Rondo and Korver in a backup backcourt, like reserve. If your two guys coming off the bench are Rondo and Korver, that could be unstoppable. Those guys are ridiculous when it comes to, I think those two guys will just play together so well. So I think the Cavs should try to pick up Rondo. Trade for Rondo. They might even want to trade J.R. Smith. That would be interesting because Smith has a large contract. Rondo has the same amount of, the Cavs, they can't afford just Rondo for trading no one for Rondo. They can't do that because they are already in the luxury tax. They're not about to trade for another 14 mil guy. So what they got to do is they got to trade someone they're already paying, which would be J.R. Smith, I believe. They trade J.R. Smith for Rondo. They get rid of one of their shooters, but then they get Rondo. So now you have either Korver starting or Korver off the bench, but then you have Liggins also at that shooting guard spot. McRae, you're still deep. I think that a Smith trade, you already have Korver, so you don't really need a J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith, you can live without him. You already got shooting guard depth. Now you get the point guard, and you're set, I think. I think that would be ideal for the Cavs. That would sound like a J.R. Smith for Rajon Rondo trade would put them in ultimate contention for that title. And then if they already aren't, I already thought they were going to win before they got Korver. Now I definitely think they're going to win. And if they get Rondo, that's going to be a huge boost, I think, if they get him to play the way they want to play. And they will, because LeBron, he's going to keep his guys in check, and he's going to have Rondo playing the way he wants him to, and that's going to be the way Rondo wants to, probably. I don't think there should be a problem with that. But then if they do go and get Mario Chalmers, it's still good because he's reliable as a backup point guard, and he can do the job for that team. If Kyrie's out, he can come in and he can play with them. The starters, he's done it before. I don't even know why Mario Chalmers doesn't have a job. I thought he was a pretty good player when he was in Memphis. He had a great season, but he just was out of the NBA for some reason. So yeah. So the Cavs are shopping a point guard. They're likely going to get him because when LeBron wants something, he usually gets it. This is going to be great for the Cavs and great for a Cavs-Warriors rematch, but worse for the rest of the NBA. This is going to suck because there's almost no point in watching the Eastern Conference playoffs now. We already kind of know who's going to win. Toronto's really good in the regular season, but they can't hang with the Cavs. No way. The Celtics, a trade for another star for the Celtics is not out of play. They could really go and get a Gordon Hayward, or hopefully not, but they have the chance of getting a Jimmy Butler. That would really push them over the edge, and that would have them contending with the Cavs, I believe. But yeah, let me know what you think. Should the Cavs make the trade for Rondo? J.R. Smith for Rondo sounds pretty good, I think, for the Cavaliers and for the Bulls, honestly, because they don't even use Rondo. So yeah, let me know what you think. I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.